Yo man, my pips, this is your fav boy, OG Aman, you know me. Crazy story yesterday, TBH, it was lit, man. I went out and life was so crazy.
What are you talking about, Aman? I could not understand a single word you are saying.
I understood a word.
That's
He
an
said
age,
Aman.
That's an age thing.
That's it?
That's it. That's the only thing I understood. He said his name Aman and that's it. बाकी बीच में कुछ OG PG पता नहीं क्या था.
शोशा है भाई शोशा है आजकल सब शोशा है शोशा है भाई शोशा है यहाँ सब कुछ शोशा है भाई शोशा है आजकल सब शोशा है भाई शोशा है यहाँ सब कुछ शोशा है.
Hello and welcome to this brand new episode of your favorite podcast, The Social Shosha. I am Ripudaman Singh and with me I have my usual suspects, Dr. Gitanjali Kalia and Aman. And before you get all worried up that something is wrong with Aman, everything is hale and hearty, the guy is fine. The only thing is that इसने कुछ time ज़्यादा लगा लिया social media पे and now it is the way he's talking.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out कि ये कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा कि बोल क्या रहा है, बोलना चाहता क्या है. And I think this is the problem that we are seeing with lot of people these days.
चाहता तो था कुछ बोलना लेकिन समझ नहीं आ रहा, वो अलग बात है.
I said it, my people got it, man. You guys don't get it. That sounds like a you problem.
That's the whole point. You think your people got it, but we want everybody else to understand it, and that is what we are discussing in today's episode.
And for that, please, Aman, come back to your normal tone.
Take a deep breath. It will help.
Yeah, it will help.
We are going to talk about language today, and particularly how people talk about language on social media, how people talk to each other, how people express themselves, how we express with each other on social media.
So put it in a single sentence, how did we come from the times when we used to communicate through signals or pictures to what I did just now? That journey.
So we have basically reached a point where telling somebody that they are lit, L-I-T, lit, right?
Means something.
It means something and it is an expression in itself. You don't need a sentence actually to compliment somebody. All you need is write 3 syllables, L-I-T, and that is enough.
Yeah, I think as the humans have evolved over a period of time, the languages do evolve. But I think पहले languages फिर भी समझ में आती थी. But आजकल, I think we cannot make a difference between a written word or a spoken word. Students, like what they're speaking, they're writing.
So essentially, you're writing what was supposed to be a colloquial sense or conversational. Just the way one of the oldest teachings I had in writing English is when you are thinking on the go, you say things like, I was doing like. They're like, okay, you don't write that like even if that comes to your mind because it doesn't go with the script. So there was a written language which was very different. But then we went to WhatsApp.
Yeah. We shifted from I want to I wanna.
Wanna, gonna, jo bhi hai basically. See, the case in point is that there is a word called sick, S-I-C-K. For me, sick has always been bimar, tabiyat theek nahi hai jiski.
He gets sick a lot.
Yes, I get sick a lot. Thank you for telling it to everybody and putting it out in the open that I get sick a lot. Chalo, thank you for that. The whole point is that sick had a connotation that people get sick, that I'm sick, I'm feeling sick. But now these shoes are sick, bro, this car was sick, bro, and I don't really understand how a car can be sick or these sneakers can be sick and a person can be sick as well.
So like he is sick, he gets sick a lot, but I am sick.
Sick.
They mean totally different things. How? I don't know. It's like L-I-T lit is brilliant. L-I-T lit is alcohol.
I think
Sorry, what?
Alcohol. L-I-T.
L-I-T. Right.
Okay. I think that is what makes us talk about this because these days I think language is something we are not able to understand or communicate at the same level, right? What we have studied, written word is something different. For example, we're talking about I want to, I don't, wanna, gonna, the way we talking about examples. और कुछ word पहले जो बने हैं, जैसे संस्कृत से भी कुछ words बने. There are certain words which are into dictionary which has come from the Sanskrit language. That's karma, that's yoga. But now we have words like vocation से. मतलब we are changing the dictionary altogether. I don't understand this.
I understand karma. But when karma is attached with karma becomes a bitch, I don't really understand how that expression matches up.
Yeah, I think the phrases and the idioms.
That's a fairly good example. I would say Aman is nodding.
It does. Karma is a bitch makes sense.
So, his expression leads us like how we react to what when we hear these things. What to say now?
Essentially, there were words that had meanings.
Yeah.
Lit to me, the first thing, even when I first heard
That
that.
had literal meanings actually.
Even the first
Yeah.
thing that came, when I hear lit, before I knew that, okay, it means something good, it means wow man, so much fun. अगर मुझे guess करना हो किस चीज को abbreviate किया, I'm still going to literature. कि lit. But no, it comes from light.
It comes from light, right?
पहले हम abbreviation में last के कुछ words हटाते थे, अब बीच में से हटा रहे हैं. GH हटा दिया है जी हमने.
और
It becomes LIT.
सिर्फ हम वर्ड्स हटा नहीं रहे हैं, हम मर्ज भी कर रहे हैं.
So does lit actually means light?
The slang lit comes from light.
And what does it actually means?
It just means like when you say something fun, something really good, and that's so lit, man. I got a new job. That's so lit, man. So if you are above and beyond the world of congratulations, yeah, that is good. That's good for your life. That's brilliant. No, that's lit.
Right. So Aman, you need to help us out here. So because everybody knows that Aman is young, he is #young Aman. I'm trying to adapt myself because people talk in hashtag these days. So Aman is young and Aman needs to help us out here. What are the basic terminologies or some fairly common words which people use on social media?
Let me do this. I'll ask you. I'll go level wise. We'll
That
do
means
the
he's
easy
planned
one.
to embarrass us. I
No.
think,
I'll ask you the really easy ones. I'll go with something you all, I'm pretty sure, would know.
Okay.
The first thing is IRL.
IRL, I know. In real life?
Yeah, in real life.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
so-
only know RIL. That is Reliance Industries Limited.
Right.
And pretty soon, if I ask you the difficult ones, you would say I only know RIP.
RIP is rest in peace.
Yep.
Oh
If
my
I
God.
ask you the difficult ones, you would want to rest in peace.
Right.
Okay.
This one, let's say AFK, Dr. Kalia.
AFK.
It's very commonly used.
I know JFK.
AFK.
Yeah, I know this one also sounds like an airport. But AFK.
AFK.
I'll give you context.
Yeah.
I'm having a conversation with someone. I want a 3 or 4 minute break, so I just say AFK.
After the break? Something like that?
That does
The K after the K.
ATB. You said ATB. I hope it catches up. If it does ATB, I made a new abbreviation.
ATB
ATB?
after the break.
Yeah, I
After
did.
the
Wow.
break.
But AFK.
AFK back. Okay.
Everybody knows by now in the audience, hopefully. It's
What-
away from keyboard.
Really?
That I'm going to be away from keyboard for a while.
In case I'm not sitting under the keyboard, then
You're typing, you're having
No,
a
you're
conversation.
just trying
if you're
to-
typing.
they're just trying to embarrass nothing else.
Okay, BBL. You say it in the same context.
BBL.
BBL.
I know TTYL. Talk to you later.
You have to answer the same question being asked.
This guy is
Don't
attempting
create-
a question paper of his own.
BBL.
BBL.
Big Bash League. Australia Cricket.
Yeah, that's what came to my mind.
One of the B has to stand for B, right?
Be
Big.
back.
Big.
Be
One of the
back.
B is for big, right?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Back? Be back?
One
Something
of the
like
B is
that?
back. Be back.
Okay, so it's-
Later. Be
Be
back
back
later.
later.
Be back
Oh,
later.
cracked it.
You got
We
it.
make a nice
You
team.
get
Yeah,
strawberries.
recognized.
I'll use one of the very commonly used ones. It means two things. You want to give me both? Wet.
Sorry, what?
What?
Wet, VET.
VT.
VE.
VET, wet.
That is wetting
That's-
something, checking, editing
no.
something, going through the process.
No.
See, he's talking about a slang.
Ve-
Of course, he's not going
veterinary doctor?
Yeah, one, it means veterinary.
Okay.
Veterinary.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Veterinary
Okay.
doctor.
Veterinary doctor.
Okay.
And
And
war veterans, man, wet. It means two things I told you.
it does
Come
not have a
on.
Very
war
common.
like
It was an easy
Okay.
one. IDEK.
IDEK.
EK.
I don't.
Yeah, it's
The,
an.
the K stands for no.
And I don't is all right. It's basically I don't. IDK has now been modified.
IDK.
I don't know enough.
IDEK.
I don't have enough
EK.
knowledge.
IDEK.
IDEK. I don't is okay.
I don't
I
is
don't
okay.
is
No
okay.
is okay.
Right.
No, it's okay. E is for. Okay.
Everything.
I don't everything know.
Who knows?
I
You're
don't.
making things up.
For sure you don't know.
Right.
Okay, let's.
Oh,
Okay.
you don't even know, man. I don't even know.
I don't even know.
know.
Modified
So the-
IDK, man. Life is crazy.
Come on now you're making
complete.
things up on your own. So
Yeah.
that was a fun section and we failed miserably, I would say.
And they're stopping me midway. I have more.
No, I think if that's
You
the
can
case,
embarrass us
So
later in the
guys,
we
podcast.
can abbreviate anything. I
Guys,
think.
BBL. Be back later.
you can continue to embarrass us later. But the point here is that before this game, Aman started playing this game, we were talking about that languages evolve over a period of time. Every language evolves, be it Hindi, Punjabi, English, whatever language we are talking about, it evolves over a period of time. Certain languages take words from other languages and it becomes a whole other language. So basically, when we are talking about this evolution of language and when we are saying that people on social media particularly talk in a particular lingo or slang, as you say, is this even an issue when we talk about this? Is it actually that big an issue that we should talk about it?
It is an issue, I think. Especially, see, we have the way we differentiate between a personal life and a professional life. Similarly, there's an informal way of communicating and there's a formal way. What is happening these days is basically because of the social platforms also so many, we are basically just putting up the verbal language similar way in the written format also. We are not following the grammatical formats. We are not catering to the proper writing of the words. Neither we are using the words that way. We are putting up slang words, revert me, ASAP, and then we don't use salutations, right, writing the mails and so on and so forth. I think
Apart from salutations, pehle the mails used to start with a sir, ma'am.
yeah.
Then they went to a hello. Okay. Then they went to a hey. Okay.
That's hola.
They
Now
went
there's
to
hola.
hi.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Now I've seen like supposed to be professional emails, official communications that start with yo.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, exclamation mark. Somehow that makes
that's
it
a
worse.
bit much. Are we trimming down the language basically?
Coming back to the point you talked about whether it's an issue or not, because ideally most of that we can't even call it grammatically incorrect now. Lit has been recognized as a word
Yeah.
by Oxford.
Is it?
See, I agree
Okay.
to what Aman is saying. There are certain words which are adopted by the dictionary and which are added into a dictionary, like sharent. I never heard of the word sharent, but that's a combination of the parents and those who share a lot of things of the child onto the internet.
So I'm sharing
Sharing?
with everyone.
Yeah, so that is sharent.
So basically, parents sharing their stuff on the internet?
Yes, their kids. Their
That
kids.
sounds weird.
That's there into the dictionary. And
Sharent.
then, yeah, and then the words like finfluencer, the influencer who talks about the financial terms. So these are words that are added to the dictionary. So when
Finfluencer.
yeah,
I'm scarred.
You're just
I'm scarred for the rest of my life.
it's like you're making things on the go.
It's like that
Yeah.
child, no?
so basically we are changing language as per our own convenience.
Like KFC came with chicken pizza, it's called cheesa.
That guy like
See-
important. It's importanter. That's a creative mistake.
Like Shilpa-
This sounds like a creative mistake.
like Shilpa Shetty says, fantastic and fabulous. It becomes fantabulous.
Fantabulous.
Yeah, I'm-
flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted by the use of
So
this. choice.
similarly, the word like netizens, that is people, those
Citizens and
citizens and
netizens.
netizens. So we have started merging the words to make another words and not picking up the words from either of the languages. For example, there are certain words which are Latin words, then there are some words from the Sanskrit language, then there are Arabic words.
we also
But
have,
we are creating our own words.
we also have languages. We've made words for languages. There's
Yeah.
English. Sooner down the line there would be English,
English.
Yeah.
Arabic and English.
Arabic,
English.
right?
There is
Pinglish.
Pinglish. There is Pinglish also, yes.
See, I do not see any harm in you're saying netizen. Netizen, it is fairly self-explanatory. When you put it in a context, it becomes
It's just that
explanatory.
we've heard it a lot now, so we agree.
Yeah,
with
Agreed,
it.
right?
That applies to lit as well. So everything else that is probably a AFK. AFK is pretty. It has been used since. times
I forgot
immemorial.
what AFK was.
Away from
Away
keyboard.
from the keyboard.
Away
Of course,
from
you
the
forgot
keyboard.
because you're away from the conversation.
Conversation.
You are AFC. You are AFC.
AFC.
But yeah, मतलब we are going abbreviations में खासकर we are just going a distance. वो कहते हैं ना, that's a stretch. Everything is a stretch because I'm pretty sure you would know IMHO.
In my
Honest opinion? Something like
opinion,
Honest slash humble opinion.
Okay.
But
humble
now
opinion,
there's
yeah.
something called IMNSHO.
in my not so
humble
opinion.
you're just making things
That's
up.
just
you're just
no. All
making-
of this has been sourced from a website that has like a few lakh hits.
So what does it says about us as a society? Are we too lazy to actually type the whole thing?
I don't know. I think maybe major concentration has to be onto the scholars, the literature scholars. I think those who are a part of the languages, I think they are the ones who are basically more knowledgeable about how the languages evolve. And I think society would always look things at its own convenience, be that FOMO or ZOLO or LOL. That is
What is
just,
Zolo?
I've often heard this. That's another, I think, expression for laughter or something like
I've
that.
heard YOLO.
YOLO is you only live once, right?
Yeah, FOMO. I'm cook up abbreviations.
Yeah,
Everyone
there's
does.
there's so many.
Your abbreviations got mixed into each other.
FOMO, you know, right? Mr. Singh.
FOMO is fear of missing out.
Yeah, you should have
Yeah.
some FOMO on social
On
media.
social media.
Learn these things. So there's
No, he's trying hard to be.
there's ROFL.
Rolling on the floor laughing.
That brings me to LOL.
Yeah.
LOL has been used. LOL, we agree, has been used for a long while.
Right.
But just the other day, I came across an RIP, which was
Rest in peace.
Rest in Peace, and there was also an LOL. May your grandfather rest in peace. LOL.
You're happy
It
that
means-
their grandfather died?
It ideally means laugh out loud, but even my father, till a while ago, believed that it meant lots of love.
Oh, that's cute.
Yes.
But that's used in the wrong context when he talks about RIPR.
So it's like
LOL.
the same
Yeah.
abbreviation. It means different things to
Different
different
thing-
people.
different
That
people.
should not happen.
So it took me a while actually to understand what OG means. I know the full form, but I still struggle to actually use it in a context, in a conversation, in a line. So what is OG basically?
Like the OG you are talking about is original gangster, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, OG is old is gold. The first
Okay.
OG that came around was old is gold.
Right.
क्योंकि
Okay.
जो बोल लो विराट को जो बोलना है बोल लो सचिन इज दी ओजी
Okay.
विकेट कीपर पंत को जो बोलना है बोल लो गिलक्रिस्ट इज दी ओजी
Okay.
Okay.
That's what OG
at
was.
some level, I still understand it.
That's what OG was. अभी ओरिजिनल गैंगस्टर इज लाइक वन ऑफ दोस बॉलीवुड फिल्म्स का डायलॉग कि हमने गुंडागर्दी छोड़ दी तो तुम सब गुंडे बन गए.
But no,
It's essentially-
I go and read some YouTube comments about anything. A movie comes out, a song comes out, and people write XYZ is the OG, ABC is the
Nowadays,
OG.
I think it's GOAT.
GOAT is
Greatest of all time. Nowadays, I think what
Still a
is-
fairly commonly used, I would say.
Yeah.
Again, calling somebody a goat, that is a bit problematic and offensive.
yeah.
But
we somehow managed to, like, we are essentially trying to call someone like the best there ever was, the best there is. And how are we doing that?
that brings me to another point, that we as a society, have we actually forgot how to use language, be it English, be it Hindi, Punjabi, whichever language you speak. Have we forgot actually how to construct a proper sentence and how to complement each other, or have we just got out of touch with other adjectives that, like for example, Roger Federer is the GOAT. You can say that Roger Federer is a fantastic tennis player.
You can even
Is the best there is.
greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time. Why do you want to ridicule somebody for calling them a goat?
Essentially, I would say this started from the WhatsApp conversations, all those cozied up conversation. You're tucked in, you're just talking to someone, you're trying to use the minimum amount of effort. So you started deleting the is and the ares and I will come ki jagah.
I would like
I'll
to go
come.
back, and I would say
think,
that
yeah.
it started when we started messaging, text messaging, not even WhatsApp.
Yeah, they charged you more for
They,
more.
they charged us more. We had a 140 character limit, the same which Twitter applied.
So that way we started with the Telegram. That we used to write the words with the amount of the money that we are supposed
But
to write.
telegrams, even I'd say telegrams were not very.
But we used to write into the words
We
format.
used to write to
write
the
full stop,
minimum
2 words
format,
and
but-
full stop.
The grammar was not there on the Telegram,
Yeah.
but the words were proper.
Huh.
Not everyone
But I
was
think-
doing it.
but I
Telegram
think-
was not as mass a phenomenon as WhatsApp is. I don't know if a 11 or a 12-year-old was using telegrams to send something to someone. That was a family thing.
Right.
But-
Now an 11-year-old has a WhatsApp.
I think as a language, today's generation, or maybe our generation or younger generation also, the coming generation also, we aren't very expert onto the language. पहले भी हिंदी हो, इंग्लिश हो, पंजाबी हो, वी आर नॉट वेरी ग्राउंडेड विद द लैंग्वेज. वो ग्रामेटिकल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हो या फिर इनफॉर्मल या फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन में हो. पहले हम लोग लोकोक्तियाँ या फ्रेज या अपने आप ईडियम्स या फ्रेजेस कभी पढ़ते भी थे. आज की डेट में बहुत कम इस्तेमाल होते हैं. मे बी लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स माइट नॉट बी नोइंग द मीनिंग ऑफ द लॉट ऑफ द फ्रेजेस. आप अभी कभी भी किसी अपने किसी एल्डरली को सुनो, ग्रैंड पेरेंट के फादर को, वो ऐसा आपको एक मुहावरा या लोकोक्ति बोलेंगे कि आप मतलब पूछते रह जाओगे कि इसका मतलब क्या है.
We've replaced them with single words. So I don't know if, again, I don't even know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I do know one thing: we're losing out on the beauty of language. Ki just by calling something lit.
Yeah.
We're losing out on the beauty.
Again, I think just talking about the way Ribudaman said ki adjectives are not being used much into when we are writing something or we expressing something. So we are just confining it to a single word or maybe 2 words.
So if you have to compliment somebody on social media, somebody uploads a nice picture on Instagram or Facebook, you can go for beautiful, pretty, gorgeous, attractive, nice, good looking, whatever. But no,
This is you're
to
slaying it. Then
slaying,
killing,
Yeah,
killing it,
killing
slaying
it.
it, lit.
Lit.
Funny story. I have a friend back in college. He had a crush on this woman. So every time she would upload a picture, this guy would actually go onto a thesaurus and look for like alternate
This
words for
synonyms,
beautiful. So gorgeous, and he'd come
Exquisite.
up with, he'd come up with words. And to me, there was beauty in that. There was effort in that. Ab kya hai?
Lit.
That's lit.
Everything is
That's,
so lit.
Yeah.
you're slaying it,
Yeah.
killing it,
Savage.
hot, savage, and then
Hot.
that fire emoji.
Calling
fire
somebody,
emoji.
calling
Fire
somebody
emoji,
hot,
yeah.
I still get.
Huh. You
Ah.
just send the fire emoji. You're done. WhatsApp has now introduced a feature where you can just react to messages.
Yes.
No, please don't react to my messages.
Yeah, respond.
That's another interesting point, that from language to actual words, now we have moved ahead to conversing with each other through emojis and hashtags. Back. We have.
That's how we started.
Technically, we have gone back.
It's just that pehle the emojis were on the walls.
Now
Yeah.
it's on
the
our,
Now
games,
it's
now
on.
they're
Now it's on
digital.
the, yeah,
now they are
digital.
on our screens
And
basically.
they
Yeah.
take even less effort to make those emojis.
There is no effort in talking to people. You all need just a laughing emoji, and now people talk with the help of emojis. They are expressing each other with the help of emojis, not typing with
I think
anything.
that comes down to that we are somewhere down the line cutting ourselves from the communication. I think because these days we often see that people are busy with their cell phones. They like to respond to the emojis or emoticons rather than responding to by typing something to somebody. Right? So we're cutting down to the communication, to use the adjectives, to express, to
Again.
tell somebody and write things. Letters though is like out of concerns only.
I-
Writing a letter is like...
Guys, I'm young, but I'll give you another reason to praise me. Every new year, and there are 4 or 5 friends, unke birthdays pe I write them letters.
Yeah.
Because letters are OG.
OG. right. So again, talking to each other through emojis, through hashtags, through these short form abbreviations which you are making on the fly basically. Are we as a society struggling to express ourselves?
I think yes. I
Yeah,
think I talked about
completely, I
this
think yes.
pehle bhi. I see my friends. I see a generation which thinks it's cool to not care. That's stemming from somewhere.
Right.
There are reasons behind it. They think it's cool कि हाँ वो बीमार है, ठीक हो गया, अपने आप कॉल कर लेगा. That's not cool. Just check up on your friend. That is the gesture. वो कहीं से तो शुरू हो रहा है ना. That attitude is coming from somewhere. There are contributors. So became minimum amount of effort. Conversations used to take time. You used to spend some, like that Facebook ka era. Even I have done it for some sad reason. But even I had a phase जहाँ पे Facebook had that feature कि if you're not online, आपको कोई message आ रहा है, they'd send you a text message. And you could respond on the text message.
Right,
and it would send it. I have done that.
Yeah.
That effort. It took a while.
See, that reminds me of one of the examples, the concept of human libraries. Generally what happens is these days you can there are few places that you have human libraries. You can pick a person through the profile that's available onto the internet, and you can set a time to interact and communicate with the person. Why do you have to go for a concept like this when the whole society can provide you ambience or an atmosphere where you can communicate with the people, you know.
So even if, let's say, we are sitting in a group, basically,
Yeah.
probably people continue to use their phone all the time.
Just the way Aman is doing it right now.
I was preparing for round 2.
I was just giving you another chance to
Just
appreciate
because you have done this to me, I'm gonna ask you more questions.
Okay, bring it on.
Okay.
IDYMMA.
It again.
It's like,
IDYMMA.
I don't know. I don't. You what?
I
D
D
Hmm?
Y
Y.
MMA and not mixed martial arts.
Why do you giving us abbreviations like movie names?
ये क्या है basically?
7 to 8
है
letters
क्या
in
ये?
each abbreviation.
So this would be like IDYMMA. When are you getting married? That's a coherent sentence in today's time.
That's a personal question.
I don't know. I don't know.
If you
IDK.
if you don't mind me asking.
Okay, right.
Now that's a coherent sentence, right?
Yeah. Now that again, see that is a
ED mama. If you don't mind me asking, IDYMMA.
see, that is a coherent sentence. But why would you shorten a coherent sentence
Yeah.
to something which is so incoherent?
And that is
Because-
an abbreviation which has at least 7 to 8 letters into it. That's a movie name altogether. Karan Johar's movie with the big titles.
NOYB.
No.
YB.
NOYB.
It's pretty simple actually. You specifically, Mr. RD.
No one?
you-
Something like that?
No.
NOYB.
Yeah.
You use it a lot. This
NOYB.
particular.
It's nobody's business? Something
None of your business.
None
of your business.
Yay,
Got
we
it.
cracked it.
We
We
got
cracked
it.
it.
Got
We
it.
got it.
business
got
when
it.
he uses it a lot.
We
he
got
said,
it.
None of your business.
None of your business.
We probably can still spoil our language. We are learning new abbreviations.
JOOC.
J
That sounds like a US defense thing, but
JOOC.
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 It's this JOOC is how they came up with JOKR in Pathan.
Joint Operations Congress Committee.
No, not JOCC, JOOC.
JOOC.
Yeah.
I can still say it still makes.
Just once, something like
If I
that.
Joint Organization.
No, you're going
Some
too
committee.
serious.
Some committee.
I don't know why he so hell-bent on using joint in that sentence. I'll still I'll use it in a sentence, give you a reference. JOOC, when are you getting married?
JOOC, when are you getting married?
Still a coherent sentence.
C stands for
Just
curious,
on-
I guess.
Yeah?
A variant of it.
Okay.
Okay. Curious.
J is for just, right?
J is for
Just, no?
Chalo, I
Yeah,
got 2
it's-
right. Almost 2 right. 1 and a
I
half.
said just.
Abbreviations was
Just-
Chalo, aap le lo credit.
Abbreviations were supposed to save time. This is what it is doing to us. Listen, people are my peeps out there. Listen, you're doing this to us.
So what is J?
Just out of curiosity.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Wow. Just out of
Out of
curiosity.
It
curiosity.
doesn't take ages to write that, right?
Why do you have to write something like
That's
this? The
such a-
person is going to take another half an hour
That's-
thinking what it
That's
is.
such a pita, man. I won't tell you what that is.
That's such a.
Pita, PITA. I won't tell you what that is. They know.
Okay.
Those
Okay.
who know.
Okay. Right.
So NGL.
Not gonna lie.
Ah,
Oh my God.
Bay.
Sorry.
Bay.
Bay what?
BAE. Bay.
BAI.
BAE.
BAE.
That's a slang used for someone who's adorable.
Bay
to-
is just
yeah.
short for Bay.
Significant other, yeah, you're
Yeah.
Bay.
No, it
It
has
has
a full
basically-
form, or is it just a word to?
A slang
It's
to
just
say
like-
a
just
baby
like wet
or
hair,
something.
so there's
Yeah, it's adorable. Yeah, you are my
What?
babe.
Baby, babe.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Am I
Something like
And
treading
there's-
on some dangerous path
Okay,
right now?
then he
Oh,
might be
you
talking
are
about Nibai, Nibi. Yeah, from
I
his
don't agree with
generations.
those.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you off. I'll ask just one more, and I think that should
Right.
be enough.
Mhm.
Embarrassment. FOAF. Sounds so much like Fufaji.
First of all. Nahin.
FOAF, first of all. Aage?
No. FOF.
FOAF.
F-O, first of all.
Nah, you're totally going down the wrong line.
We are going to, okay.
You're going somewhere.
FOAF.
Bolo.
Yeah, you tell us. Like, we another might
FTR.
miss-
It is friend of a friend. He's a foof.
Friend of
He's a friend of a friend.
friend of a friend. Like foof.
So like
foof.
we have a mutual. We have mutual. Easy to say, right?
Foof.
He's a mutual
हमें
friend.
हमें
He's
वैसे
friend of a friend.
हमें वैसे फूफा ही पता था.
And did you know FTR?
Yeah.
No.
No, what's
Yeah, you just heard it, ignored it, कि वरना ये फिर पूछेगा. For the record.
For the
yes.
record.
Yeah.
okay?
The only foof we knew was fufa.
I know.
The only I knew was fufa.
Fufa.
I think
And वो नाराज
after
थे.
I think after this listening to this podcast, I think a lot of our listeners are going to go to the dictionary and start looking at the
It should
abbreviations.
be like, I think
It is not just about abbreviations per se.
Yeah, a lot of words,
people are
yes.
coming with random hashtags as well. There is a thing called hashtag Throwback Thursdays on.
Throwback Thursdays, Flashback Fridays,
Fra-
Motivational Mondays.
Yeah, Monday blues.
Tetra Pack Tuesdays.
That's a good one. We can actually start drinking water from your Tetra Packs.
Tetra packs on Tuesdays.
I don't really understand the point of Throwback Thursdays. Why
Why?
do you have to throw back everything on a Thursday? Why not on a Friday?
Even worse is Motivational Mondays.
Is
Mondays
this-
are
is
the
the-
last place for motivation.
Mondays are always bloody Mondays, not motivational
Monday
Mondays.
blues also. Like your Monday blues.
But why do
We
you have
do turn blue on a Monday.
Oh, see, this whole hashtag conversations, these
Yeah.
whole conversations of emojis, and then talking in random abbreviations, which really are made up in. I don't know. People are just sitting over there and say, "Okay, this sounds cool. Let me make this in an abbreviated form."
Isn't that what we did to the whole language system itself? Okay, let me call this an apple.
See, what we're talking about here is that certain words are standardized. So when you say apple, everybody knows what an apple is. But when you say something like a foof,
Maybe they're playing the long con. They want these words to be standardized.
Why
There
They
will
want
come-
to add them into the dictionary. That is what
They're
we want
getting
to
it
say.
done.
Yeah.
Zit got there.
Yes,
see,
yes,
I
that
understand a word like selfie going into the dictionary and becoming
I don't get it.
Sorry?
I don't get it.
No, see, selfie, I still get it that selfie became a word and an
See,
official
and-
word. It's been 10-12 years now since selfie became a word.
The point is we get very adaptable to the changes. I think the word is being used by it, half the population, and then we start adapting to the word. That's taking it as it's being onto the records, and we can use the word.
So basically, when we're talking about this kind of language as social media lingo or slang, is it getting really out of hand at this point? Are we just talking in language which is not making any sense anymore?
Honestly.
I'm still processing that foof thing in my mind, to be honest, as I'm talking to you guys.
Honestly, I think you're being kind, you're being nice. It got out of hand a while ago. There was a time, even the word babe, right? It's already very shortened. B-A-B-E, kitna effort. It has become beb. B-E-B.
What was bae then? If babe is beb, then bae kya hai?
So, like, bae is
Again-
for your significant other.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that babe is like bro ka, a version of like we say bro, man, bro, listen.
Like a dude.
Babe, listen. Yeah, so a dude or a, it's become B-E-B. That doesn't even mean anything.
See,
Beb.
I think
Beb.
Beb.
Beb. So as a Haryanavi, if I was to say Beb, ke balu sale aahi.
Nahin, bebe sounds.
Yeah, it sounds closer to baby actually.
no, I think if this remains, I think if this is the way things remains, I think communication बहुत कम हो जाएगी, क्योंकि see it's been changing say within a span of 5 years. New generation comes or new people come and they come up with the new words. They have their own abbreviations and things are changing. But लेकिन जो लोग अभी भी लैंग्वेज का सही इस्तेमाल करना जानते हैं, they have a problem adopting and understanding to what is being talked about, right? तो वो communication जो gap है, वो over a period of time वो बढ़ता जाएगा.
Right. So,
Nah, man, you guys, you don't get it. Us, we generation, us, man, us. We talk like that.
maybe we are better off
Nah,
if we don't get you.
Nah,
That is the whole point. We are better off if we don't
we are
get you.
lit people. We are lit people. You guys are just like stuck up. You want to talk in long sentences. We get things done, man.
I don't
We
want to
get
put it
all-
on
But
record. You
dude,
guys.
dude, no, it doesn't work like that. BBL, ITK, AFK, DM, BYOB,
So that is the whole problem. We didn't understand to anything that you have talked so far.
See,
If I really valued, even I didn't get it.
but I have another thing to ponder over here. I have another question in my mind. So basically, when we talk about slangs, is media also affecting us? So when I see, let's say, a celebrity using a particular word, and I think that it is a cool word, without really understanding the context of that word, I start using it as well. It might have a certain cultural context from where the celebrity is coming from where that person is coming from. But when I pick it that word from that language or that culture, and then I start using it with my own people, I don't really understand the context or what the connotation of that word is. But just because it appears to be cool, and I want to look cool in front of my people, and then it becomes a whole different conversation.
Yeah, because recently there's the program which is going on, the Big Boss. There's a candidate, Stan, and he used the word shemdi. And I don't know, and a lot of people are the celebrities, those who come to the show, or maybe the participants who are entering. The word has been repeated in trends so many times onto the social platforms that a lot of people are using it without understanding its literal meaning, that what does it mean.
So like, as difficult as it is for us to understand, for you guys to understand, every word means something somewhere.
Right.
Every word it is coming out of a language, it means something. And it's a big risk actually to be using it without actually knowing the meaning, which is something we're doing far too often right now. For all we know, a word might be abusive. हम बोले जा रहे हैं, it works nice and everything till you are talking to the people जिन्होंने उसी celebrity को सुना है. But say if I go to another state, I use the same word, वो पकड़ के छितर मार रहे हैं जी.
Social media lingo is one thing, people talking on social media is one thing, but then that lingo, that language, that slang then transcends outside the barriers of social media and goes into the real world, and you see people talking in that same sense everywhere.
So like that good old debate of does the real translate to the real or the real translate to the real.
Right.
So अभी क्या हो रहा है, everything which is happening of social media is also happening IRL, which means in real life.
Simple, because we are media educators, and we listen to students, the way they talk. That is also part of a language. It's at times you cannot just listen to the words they use.
Like the word awesome, it has been, I don't want to use the word, but it has been bastardized to such an extent that everything is awesome. Mausam is awesome, dress is awesome, food is awesome.
Mausam is awesome sounds poetic.
Mausam is awesome sounds poetic. It has that lit thing.
Mausam is awesome sounds lit.
Food is awesome, people are awesome, everybody is awesome, everything is awesome.
And if you are by chance not awesome, then you're lit.
Then you are slaying.
Even say me too. How difficult is it to say me too? Yeah, me as well.
Right.
Now even that has become us, bro. You say भाई मैं बहुत दुखी हूँ, us, bro. भाई मेरी पेपर पढ़ाई अच्छा हो गया, us, bro.
That reminds me, somebody last year told me that suspicious or suspicion nowadays is spelled as sus in social media conversations. So this appears to be a little sus. So when you're talking about some fake news or some information which is kind of misleading, so people will say this appears to be sus.
Oh, I think I am just feeling like nomophobia type.
Nomophobia. जिनको कुछ नहीं पता है इनको. So you came up with something new.
I don't spend much of a time onto the phone, so probably that is why I'm feeling nomophobia.
I would translate no more phobia.
Dr. Kalia को nomophobia हो गई.
Okay, I'll throw more question. What is abbreviation? It's supposed to be an abbreviation because they write it in all caps. CU.
CU.
It still means CU.
So
No, for us, that's
Why would you
probably...
write CU? Exactly. But they do.
Okay.
I read it. It was painful.
Okay.
No, it wasn't painful.
That's CU, that's CR, that's...
IWP.
IW?
P. It was painful.
It was painful. You're making things up.
You're making, yeah.
So are they.
So are they, right? So,
No, sorry.
just to basically
SRT.
now... Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar.
No, so are they.
SRT was Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar.
No, don't
Sorry,
make up your
sorry.
own language.
He's still around?
The guy is still around and he's lit.
He's lit.
Don't make up your own language.
He is the OG. Sachin is the OG.
And
so,
someone's the NG.
NG is what? New
If
gangster?
OG is old gangster. NG is new gangster. Then there's a noob gangster.
There is a word called noob as well.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It
Noob.
means amateur.
Noob.
So it means
Noob.
you.
You as in...
Amateur.
I'm just losing track now, right?
I think we lose
big-
on to our own language also if we keep continuing this.
Be glad that you're only losing track. People have lost their minds
Mind.
in this.
Where do we stop this? How do we stop this, or do we actually need to stop this?
I think, consciously we need to make an effort that the way we are communicating, we need to differentiate that a formal communication has its own benefit, and we need to know where to use the formal communication. And we also need to know, especially in the public fare, how we're communicating informally, because there are people, we stay among a lot of people, so we basically we need to understand how we're communicating when we are in a public spheres.
Right. Aman?
I think we should stop this 10 years ago.
We should have stopped this 10 years ago.
Yeah, we should have. Because I am NSHO, in my not so humble opinion. I'm having to read that abbreviation out of a page. I can't remember it.
Right.
But in my not so humble opinion, it is killing communication, it is killing language. And by killing it, I mean, I had a teacher who would be mad at me for not putting full stops at the end of my WhatsApp texts. But now those WhatsApp texts have become 3 words, all caps. You don't even know what part am I shouting, what part am I saying calmly. At the end of the day, if you want your language skills to be good, you want to be practicing your language every chance you get.
The more you speak, the more you write, the better you'll get.
Yeah, so we should stop this 10 years ago. Honestly, the fact remains that language is supposed to be somewhat universal. Like
standardized.
Other people have to get what you're saying. There was a reason we decided the word apple means this fruit. ऐसा नहीं है कि you're saying apple, I'm thinking banana, the third person is thinking microphone.
That reminds me that even when you call somebody a snack, that means something different, right?
You wanted to do that, didn't you?
Yeah. I had it in my mind even before we started recording this.
My problem does not end at calling somebody a snack. Even that snack, they're spelling it wrong.
Spelling it wrong. SNACC.
Yeah. So spelling it wrong using the same number of syllables. SNACK hi tha.
So you're not saving the space. You're not saving time.
We just, just spoiling the language.
You just want to stand out.
The point here is that you are not the only person on social media. There are other people as well. And try to use the language which most of us understand. There is no fun in opening an Instagram account in one tab and Google in another and going to the Urban Dictionary to seek help out. So the bottom line is that if you find somebody good looking, give them a proper compliment. Don't call them just lit.
Or snack.
Or anything else you made it up 5 seconds ago. Open a thesaurus, go to Google, use a better adjective and compliment them. That would look good.
And make conscious efforts.
So I guess that's a very good point to end this episode of the podcast. I, Aripudaman Singh.
I, Dr. Gitanjali.
OG Aman.
And we'll be back pretty soon with a fresh new episode of Social Shosha. Till then, take care. Goodbye.
शोशा है भाई शोशा है आजकल सब शोशा है शोशा है भाई शोशा है यहाँ सब कुछ शोशा है शोशा है भाई शोशा है आजकल सब शोशा है भाई शोशा है यहाँ सब कुछ शोशा है